It's the opening round of the NFL playoffs, and EA Sports continues its coverage of Super Wild Card Weekend. It's the Mounties and the Lumberjacks, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
Now from just east of the Mississippi River, EA Sports welcomes you to the home of the Blues, Memphis, Tennessee. Straight ahead, it's Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a great one in store, as it'll be the Mounties of Albuquerque taking on the Lumberjacks of Memphis. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you. It's that most wonderful time of the year, the NFL playoffs, as we're underway on EA Sports. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
And he comes into these playoffs bringing a team that's been battle-tested, won the division, and earned the home playoff game here in round one. But every year they know that a division champ, it feels like, gets beat. They don't want to be that team. They have to avoid the overconfidence and make sure they play the same way they played during the regular season, mistake-free and with passion. You get a sense of what this game plan might be. They think they can take a few home run shots against this defense. They tried it there on the opening drive, but that ball's incomplete.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. And on now is the punter. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. This is taken at the 23. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their 3rd-year quarterback.
And we can talk all we want about football being a team game and leaning on different parts and aspects in order to get it done. And that's entirely true during the regular season. Some weeks it's the defense, the special teams, running the football. But in the playoffs, all the pressure reverts to the quarterback, and he has to play well and play at a really high level in order for his team to win.
First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a 1st down, too.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down. They'll set up to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Holding offense.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Good running right there, and this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
2nd and 14. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Looking to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Rodgers. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Back to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. Back to throw again. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play.
Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. From the 20, here's 2nd down and 8. As they've got it as we resume action. Here's 2nd and 8.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there.
And they'll bring 4 receivers into the fold here. It's 3rd and long.
He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback?
So instead of forcing the field goal, it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, the force was trying to make something happen that just didn't need to, right? I mean, the plays happen, let it go. It's over. Instead, it creates a penalty.
Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses.
And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Mounties will strike first here, this wild card matchup.
I think that's the dream start right there. The defense stands up on the opening drive, then they go right down the field and score.
It's a positive start for your offense and your defense. And when you're talking about playoff football, what a great way to get things going.
Everything is magnified and amped up a little bit more.
To put it mildly.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a 1st down. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle.
In trouble, and he's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And he is going to be taken down. They got him, as that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Two minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs.
And they'll send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And he'll take it just outside the 40. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
2nd down and a yard.
They'll set up a throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
They only get 5 out of that quick slant, but that's good enough for a first.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Back to throw now on 1st down. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6.
They'll look to throw here. Caught, left side, Bennett. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Back to throw here.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Mounties will extend their lead here just before halftime. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. So the drive there took 6 plays.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play.
Well, congratulations to them. They come through defensively with another stop. And let's face it, this secondary, they've gone unchallenged so far in the first half.
They'll throw now on the final play. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
But first, time to look ahead to Sunday's action here in the NFC. A 4-5 battle that ought to be a tight one, as it's going to be one heck of a battle, that's for sure. Meanwhile, in our game, it took a little while to get settled in, but we were in for a battle royale in this second half. And to call the action, let's go back to the guys who've been there all year, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And they've been the better of the two teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks at home, although not to my dad. He predicted the visitors would win. And maybe to the folks in the stadium. But you know who is not a surprise to, partner? This team with the football. They were very confident coming in.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Bennett. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
Another big play right there. And this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, Rodgers has it. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's second down. Now a handoff up the middle. Wagner. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Wagner. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Wagner. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a first down. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue. They'll drop to throw. His pass caught at the 4. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Mounties continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And taken right on the 30. 1 quarter remains in this NFC Wild Card matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Memphis, Tennessee. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
On first down, Wagner. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 50 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
They'll run on first down. It's Wagner.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
They'll keep it on the ground. Wagner, he will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And Charles, on the losing side of things, they didn't come in here as the favorite to these playoffs, but they came in with a lot of hope and anticipation. Tough to have that all snuffed out so quickly.
It really is. You're one of 12 teams when the playoffs begin that still has a chance to win the Super Bowl. So that's pretty darn good. And as you often talk about, a lot of hope when the playoffs start. Well, that ended for them. But when they look back, they'll have a lot to be proud of and see if they turn the page towards the next season.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everybody.